Hey, it's Jason from Makash Films. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. We've got an incredible lineup of programming here, and we're constantly working on new projects that I can't wait to share with you. Everything we produce here at Makash is built to inspire, connect, and spark real conversation. So stick around, there's so much more coming. And hey, go ahead and hit subscribe now before you forget.
Do it.
Take the sting higher, take the sting higher. I'm a blower. You don't know what it takes. So you want to be great, but do you really know what it stakes? Do you know what it means?
Hello, everybody. Your eyes do not deceive you. I know you're seeing me right now. But yes, welcome to yet another episode of the one, the only, the Hitting Cage. Today is Monday, August 18th on 2020-25. 2020, I can't speak, but nothing's new.
Let's not go back to 2020.
I continue. Yeah. Oh, God, no. 2025, August 18th, 2025. It is currently 6:10 p.m. I'm your host, Tristan Thornhill. To my immediate right, if I'm not mistaken, is a very iconic venue. Jack, I'll let you introduce it because it was always a staple when it came to you. Jack, tell me, where are you?
Yeah, well, I am at the location of the original filming of the Hitting Cage podcast. Actually, the original filming of the Diamond Discussions. If that sounds familiar, well, it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
I am at the bottom of Andy Holt Tower, and Tristan knows a lot about the bottom of Andy Holt Tower. We are here for our second year of school at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and I miss my partner, my pal, on my virtual left, Tristan Thornhill.
I am done. Thank God. You know, I was talking to my mom earlier today, and I was like, oh, crap. She goes, what? Well, I was like, it's first day of classes, and I guess I'm missing him. And, you know, he shared a laugh. It's great to not be in Knoxville.
We miss you.
Don't get me wrong. I miss it, but it's not the same place that I got there to. It's crowded. It's expensive now. And speaking of expensive, I know we're gonna get back. We're gonna get on track. We're gonna talk all the baseball for all you nerds out there that tune into this show. Did you see that they're increasing the prices for tickets by 4% already?
Of course they are, but to get back to the issues that Knoxville has, there's too many damn Californians here.
Well, that's Tennessee. That's Tennessee in general. That's Tennessee in general now. I mean, everybody's moving to Nashville and bringing their problems. Everybody is getting priced out of Memphis and moving to Collierville, where I live, and bringing their problems. But I digress.
Too many asshole Giants fans from the Bay Area.
Exactly. The world is one big shit show, and we're all just trying to shovel through it, you know? Put that on a T-shirt. When Jason watches this back, put that on a fucking T-shirt. Speaking of T-shirts, make sure you guys go check out our store. Visit the Makash page on YouTube to get the direct link to our store. You guys can get your own. You guys can own a piece of Hitting Cage and Makash Films merch. From now until the end of September, use code CAGE25 for a 10% discount at checkout for Hitting Cage merch. Make sure you guys check out all things Makash Films. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, you name it. They got it. Go check us out. Fuck with Makash, because if you don't fuck with me, if you fuck with me and you fuck with him, then you fuck with Makash. It's a lot of fucks. But let's fuck with everybody here, because everybody in this chat rocks, okay? Everybody rocks. You rock. You watching this. You rock.
I thought you were pointing to me. I said, this is out of character for you. You're never this nice to me.
You suck, okay? Consistently. And you know what? There hasn't been a break in the suckage when it comes to you, actually.
Oh, is that so?
It's completely true. And speaking of suck about your baseball team, though, that you told me before we started the episode, he said, please, let's stay clear of the Giants. Well, we can't, because they're about to start playing the hottest team in baseball after this Cubs series, which is, I mean, if you're not watching it, there's something wrong with you. That's a huge, huge pivotal point in the NL Central. And game one has already gone to the Brewers by a demonstrative score of 7-0. The Brewers finally had their win streak snapped against the Reds. Jose Trevino, former Yankee forever, played some heroics. And I don't know if you were watching that game, that Reds game. The umpiring was fucking dog crap, man. Dog crap. And it's just another, file that they can file away when they need, they decide next year, do we want Robo-Umps in up there, or do we want to go ahead and make this head tap, challenge thing a thing up here? It's getting more and more possible. Now, I don't think you go straight to the nobody behind the dish. Robo-Umps, you just get the call and you move on. That takes the game out of the game.
It removes something because
it removes humanity.
Let me tell you something right now about the sport of baseball. And I will say there's a reason the hat is on backwards tonight. It is a Giants hat, but I'm ashamed. Okay, I'm ashamed.
Wow, what a coward. I was getting flamed last week for not having my Yankees hat on.
Yes, because you look much better with it on because it's you. But let me tell you this right now. Let me tell you this right now about the ABS is what they call it, the automatic balls and strikes system. My problem with it is it actually harms the pitchers significantly. And in a league where we're already doing enough for the hitters, like 2021 juice baseballs, now RG with these effects, man. With the thumbs up, thought bubble. Get that off. Anyway, look, there's a number of things that we've done as a league to benefit the hitters more. I don't think we need to add to that. It removes, the pitcher maybe throwing a pitch an inch off the plate and the hitter having to defend it with 2 strikes. That's called protecting the plate. With 2 strikes, you maybe expand the zone because a lot of these takes are tough, uncomfortable takes. You don't want to take a pitch a quarter inch off the plate when you're in a 2-strike count. And it kind of gives the hitter another out that I don't think at this point the hitter needs. So, Tristan, I want to get your thoughts on it before we kind of hop into anything about current baseball standings. What is your thoughts on the automatic ball strike?
I somewhat agree with you. I mean, it takes the humanity out of the game. Balls and strikes and a missed call or a close enough pitch. You ever watch a baseball game where you're the one who has your team playing defense? You're in the field. Okay, there's a man at first, man at third, runners on the corners, 1 out. It's a 3-1 count. You walk the guy, bases are loaded, and then you got the 4-hole coming up. Let's say a borderline pitch that on that little shitty ass strike zone that they put up on every broadcast because we know that it never actually changes and adapts to when the hitter's height is. If it hits any part of that corner, you're begging. That's good enough. That's good enough.
It's a strike.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So that's what I'm saying. It takes the human effect out of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. It's the power tripping that I could do less with. It's the power tripping. You're not going to dictate my strike zone. You're gone. That's what I could do less with. If a batter could be like, you know what? I know that you're saying it's a strike. And we go to review, man, that touched the black. You're out. That changes the game, man. It changes the game. Sometimes it's good, sometimes for bad. We said the same thing about the pitch clock. The only thing that I'm worried about is that it's going to come in a huge moment. Say it's Game 7 of the World Series. It's a 3-2 pitch, 2 outs at the bottom of the ninth. The game's tied and the bases loaded. You're going to leave that down to a robo-ump? Kind of like 3-2, bases loaded again. But same scenario. And then you call a pitch clock violation to walk in the winning run?
In the World Series.
You can't do that.
In the World Series. You can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that. Like you take the Manfred runner out of the playoffs. I think you should consider putting these things into the regular season because it might help shorten the games. It might help get more precise. It might help the speed. And I know what people are saying. Why do we have to speed up the game? It gets the players off their feet. It lessens injuries.
Let me tell you one thing, Tristan, about the Manfred runner, because I don't want to let this thought escape my head because my memory is like a goldfish.
Yeah.
The problem with the Manfred runner to me is that, and I have the same issue with the overtime rules in the NFL. If you're reverting back, to the original rules of baseball, which is the way it should be, with extra innings being played just like any other inning.
Yep.
If you're reverting to that in the postseason, you are admitting that the system is inherently flawed the way that it is. And you are admitting to real baseball fans who know how the game works that you are essentially caving for money because what they want to do is speed up the game so that they can get more viewership and they can get more asses in seats.
Yeah, but
they're caving to that.
I don't think
because they know the playoffs will have viewership anyway.
You don't necessarily need to adhere to new baseball fans. I think baseball has plenty of amount of fans. I think it's more people that are tuning out. You've got a problem with people tuning out. Now, don't get me wrong. Baseball is hot in the streets right now. You got no issue with baseball right now. I think baseball is exactly where it needs to be right this very second. I think also if you were watching the Little League Classic game, you heard some of the things the commissioner had to say that they're on the precipice of adding some expansion teams. One in between the both of us right now in Nashville, one maybe in even thinking about going to Oklahoma City, one maybe going back into Oakland.
Oakland!
Who knows? Who knows? But when that happens, you would have to have a realignment. And there was a proposed realignment. The most interesting one that came across my desk, because I am a Yankee fan, if you can't tell. If you can't tell, there's something wrong with you. Is what the AL or the Eastern Atlantic Division would be. And that would be the most toxic division in all of sports.
Let's hear it.
Mets, Yankees, Red Sox, Phillies. That would be a bloodbath.
My God. And I'm here for it. And I'm
Are you joking?
Freaking here for it.
Do you understand? And then it would also be something like the worst. You'd have teams probably like Milwaukee. I have to bring up the list of the proposed realignment.
Something like
so while
Milwaukee, St. Louis.
Talk to me about how absolutely insane that Eastern Division would be, and I'll get you this list.
Well, look, I'm not opposed at all to a realignment because if you remember many, many moons ago, the Astros used to be in the same division as the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers, and it worked out pretty well because, look, this was a competitive team with other competitive teams playing on the West Coast. They're not traveling super far. As long as these teams don't have to travel a ridiculous, absurd amount of extra miles, like that's my problem with college sports realignment. You got Texas traveling to Florida and stuff like that when they shouldn't have to. They should just be in the conference that is – there's plenty of qualified schools in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Tennessee that can play together. Why does Texas have to travel all the way to Florida? So my point is –
started on that stuff. That stuff is bullshit. But
with baseball, I think it makes a little more sense when you're in different towns playing four games,
these
not
are
just going for one day.
athletes. These are adults. These are the people that already have their careers set and are prepared to travel across the country only maybe – 3-4 times a year to do their West Coast or East Coast swings.
And that's what I like about the new schedule.
We're in the Pac-12 that are coming all the way to the Northeast almost every other weekend to play football games. It's not right. Baseball games, basketball games, whatever. It's not right. But anyway, speaking on the realignment, Rob Manfred had a lot of things to say, but there were also a lot of negative things that people had. Manfred said via SI.com, this is Sports Illustrated, I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically realign.
Geographically,
you're welcome for the
help.
I think we could save a lot of wear and tear on our players in terms of travel. This is something that I was just saying when it came to getting players off their feet. You wouldn't have those 3 or 4 West Coast, East Coast trips. You would have more. Now interleague play is here to stay. You'd have 1 or 2 because you're playing the Phillies almost every night. You're playing the Red Sox almost every night. I loved that when you had more games against your opponents in your division.
I love that
too. And I know that we're trying to get to everybody goes everywhere now, but I if we could get back to the heated, man, we're down 3 games and we've only got like 6 more to go. Let's get on these guys in September. You kidding me? How big a Yankees Red Sox series, which they're about to play 4, would be in late September if the Yankees had a 2-game lead on the Red Sox, and then they had to turn around and play the Phillies, who were in 3rd place. And
it would be like 2004. Games. It would be like 2003, 2004.
Insanity, and it would be fun. But let me look for this realignment. The potential realignments have some scary good, but scary, like, not fun. I can't really think of another word to describe it than just not fun, boring, not fun potential divisions. But here you go. Here's the AL North. You would have maybe the Seattle Mariners, a Portland expansion team, the Las Vegas Athletics, and the Colorado Rockies. The AL West, you'd have the Dodgers, the San Francisco Giants, the LA Angels, and the Padres. The AL Central would be the Rangers.
That's kind of cool, actually, a California-specific division.
That's what I'm saying. The Rangers, the Astros, the Diamondbacks, and the Royals. The Midwest, you'd have the Blue Jays, the Twins, the Cubs, and the White Sox. To me, boring.
Love it. The Cubs and the White Sox should be in the same division is.
Yes, but when they're good. But I'm talking about as of right now. That'd be boring. And this is something that he's hoping to flip around maybe in a year or 2. That'd be boring right now. The Blue Jays would be cakewalking that division right now. It'd be boring. The NL East, you'd have the New York Yankees, the New York Mets, the Boston Red Sox, and the New York Mets. Then the NL West, you would have the Milwaukee Brewers, the Cincinnati Reds, the Cleveland Guardians, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The NL South.
The NL West has the Pittsburgh fucking Pirates on it. This is a problem. Look. Listen very carefully.
It's that market. But
listen
because when you hear NL West,
carefully.
You think
listen
California.
very carefully. Listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. There are why are the Pittsburgh Pirates are on the East Coast? Okay,
let me.
This is
finish.
part of the problem. This is like Cal joining the ACC. But let me say one thing before you continue. This is very important. There are certain teams that must, no matter what, stay in the same division. The Cardinals and the Cubs must be together. The Yankees and the Red Sox must be together. The Giants and the Dodgers must be together. Non-negotiable. And so no matter what happens, there are certain teams that need to stick together.
That's what I'm saying. But you would also sacrifice losing some other big rivalries.
Like Dodgers-Padres is gone. Do you keep Giants-Dodgers or Dodgers-Padres? I would hope you would say the Giants-Dodgers, but maybe people today would say, fuck the Giants. Padres-Dodgers is more relevant, and it is right now.
Here's a better one, I'd say. This is according to Yahoo Sports. Here you go. Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies in the East. In the North, you have the Blue Jays, Tigers, Guardians, Pirates. Okay?
I like that.
The Mid-Atlantic, you got the Orioles, Nationals, Braves, and a North Carolina expansion team. Maybe
cool division, very unique.
Or Raleigh. In the South, you'd have the Rangers, Astros, Marlins, and Rays. So you do combine Texas and Florida. I don't hate that. Just go over the Gulf. The Great Lakes division, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Brewers, and the Twins.
But now you're kind of assuming that there's no conferences. Where does the conferences come into play?
This is true.
The AL, NL, Eastern Conference, Western Conference.
This is true. What if you had interleague conferences? Interleague divisions.
I see what you're saying. I'm not opposed.
The conferences stay, but the divisions are made up of 2 and 2.
And I got to correct myself, Tristan. We're both wrong. It's not conferences. It's leagues.
It's leagues, yes. But I know I was speaking your language. You're back at Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm in football mode.
You're in football on the brain. So the Midwest, we had the Royals, the Cardinals, the Reds, and a Nashville expansion team. Then you had the Southwest, the Dodgers, the Angels, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. So they kick you guys out. And then the West with the Rockies, the A's, the Giants, and the Mariners. I'd probably swap the Diamondbacks and the Giants.
Yes. Giants need to stay with Dodgers and Padres.
Because
that's
you guys are quite literally
non-negotiable.
in the Southwest, whereas the Diamondbacks are more towards
No, Arizona is the Southwest.
That's what I agree with that, but that's closer to Colorado. That's closer to Las Vegas. That's not closer to fucking Seattle, but that's you got those three that are closer together rather than the Giants who are still in California. So that's the one change I'd probably make to this Yahoo Sports list. But other than that, I think that's great.
I have no problems with it, honestly.
And that Southwest would be the most toxic things in sports.
Oh, 1,000%.
100%. All right. Well, we talk about some realignment. We need to get into baseball now. We're 18 minutes on the dial. We've got a show to run. And it's been a week. First time, I think it's the first time with Makash that we've done back-to-back shows the same week. But it's been a week, and you know what the talk of the town is? Still? It's Jay King's Milwaukee Brewers.
And it should be, Tristan, and I'll tell you why. Because, you look at this team, and they lose a game like you mentioned to the Cincinnati Reds the other day. And when a team like that loses a game, people are shocked. Oh, my God, we beat the Brewers. And that's how you know a team is really, really good. And I'll tell you, I some godsend of a human being today had the game on in front of me in class, the Brewers versus Cubs game. So I was able to zone out. Shout out that guy. Do it again tomorrow. But I'll tell you right now, that was a win for the Brewers. That it was even when they were up 3-0. It just seemed like it was never even in question. The Cubs are a great team. You see Kyle Tucker slamming his helmet. That's the lengths of frustration that the Brewers have brought these teams to. The Brewers have brought not just the National League Central, the National League to its knees.
And
the entire National League.
You talk about bringing people in, and I'm going to revisit our trade deadline talk and who's the most impactful. I am now I think now I'm going to be going the Aaron Savali for Andrew Vaughn route.
Yeah.
Andrew Vaughn has been incredible, and I'll get his stats up for you in a minute. But that's one of the biggest acquisitions I've seen. The Brewers have turned. It's like I was saying when the Yankees were making these trades for Colorado Rockies like Ryan McMahon and Jake Bird, who's now down in AAA. But it's something different to play meaningful baseball, man. And I don't think people understand that. You know, we had people when the Yankees traded for Ryan McMahon, like, "Ooh, great, a 200 hitter, great." And I'm like, the first and foremost thing I was saying was like, guys, we traded for his defense. Get that through your fucking skull. What do you not understand? We're one of the worst defensive teams metrically in statistics in the league at third base, and we just traded for an A+ defender. And guess what? He's hitting pretty decently. His average has gone up like I think 20 points, something like that. He's now batting 230 something with the Yankees when he was batting like 2 something with the playing meaningful baseball matters. And Andrew Vaughn is a prime example to me.
Yeah, Tristan, let me give you the rundown on Andrew Vaughn's stats right now. First, I'll give you his career numbers with the White Sox. 248 hitter, 303 on base average, and a 709 OPS. In 31 games with the Milwaukee Brewers, he is hitting 327 with a 391 on base average and a 1001 OPS. 9 home runs in 31 games, 35 runs batted in 31 games, 5 doubles, 37 hits, having a hell of a half season on a 6.5 WAR pace. That is all-star level. MVP level is 8. Unreal stuff from Andrew Vaughn.
He had a negative WAR when he was with the White Sox. Negative
1.7 in 48 games.
Negative. Now he's brought his WAR back up to a negative 0.5 this year. But with the Brewers, he's at a 1.2.
Yeah, a 6.5 WAR pace.
Something's got to be said about this Brewer front office, man. You know, you lose, you get swept by the Yankees to begin the season. You trade for Durbin. You trade for Cortez. You trade Durbin. You trade for Durbin by giving up Williams, your closer, who gave up that bomb to Pete last year, and you're just sitting at home with your dick in your hand, like, what the hell just happened? Then you trade for Nestor, who gets blown to bits, then goes on the IL. And you're just staring around like, well, fuck, man. You want to start? We're in a lull right now. Do we think about this rebuild shit, or do we just toughen it out?
They lose Willy Adames too.
Yeah, and guess what? They toughened it out.
Who's not just a good hitter, but was a total clubhouse leader. Great clubhouse presence. Seemed like a good guy to be around. Christian Yelich. Everyone thought his legs were toast. They thought there was no tread left on those tires. Right. And look, he's had a great year. I'd argue he's been his best since his MVP season. I would argue that he's been his best since his MVP season.
Maybe this is the ghost of Bob Uecker. Maybe arguably
just a bit outside.
Arguably one of the best radio voices in baseball.
Not arguably.
Top 5 of all time.
Still not arguably.
Okay.
Still not arguably.
I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I hate to be that guy, and I hate to speak. Ever since his death, man, they've been like they were like, what do we do? He died in January, and they were like, what do we do? I mean, there's many moves that we could make. They trade for the Yankees prospect Urban at third base. The Yankees need a third baseman
badly,
and look at them now. That's this stretch. Another ridiculous game winning streak, 14 game winning streak that they just had. And you know what? They lost that game to the Reds. They very well could have lost it in the 9th. I thought they were going to lose in the 9th. But the fact that they tie it, they don't tie it. They take the lead in the top of the 9th 2-1. And then obviously go on to lose. And then they turn around the next day like it's nothing. Right off a 7-0 win against the people that are in second place in your own division. Like it's nothing. Oh, and by the way, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was an away game. Like it's nothing. If the Yankees or Giants ripped off a 3-game winning streak, a 4-game winning streak, and lost the game that they did to the Reds, they'd go on to lose the next 2.
The Giants would lose the next fucking 6.
This Brewer team is different. It's different. Now, speaking of the Yankees, they've just won 3 in a row. So maybe they get their shit together. But it's the Cardinals, and then you've got 2 against the Rays, and then you got 4 against the Red Sox. For me, and I hate to take this about Yankee talk, but for me, I think that's when I start to get serious. This is where you show me. Okay, cool. You just swept the Redbirds. That's good. That you haven't been doing.
You should be doing that.
You weren't able to do it, but now you are good. The real test is this 4-gamer that they have coming up against the Red Sox, who are half a game ahead of you right now. Can you beat the good teams? Can you take 3 out of 4? That'll show me whether the Yankees are actually going to be serious about an October push or not.
Look, I need to tell you one thing, and I agree with you on the Yankees front, but I don't want to speculate on the Yankees because why would anyone listen to me talk about the Yankees when they can listen to Mr. Yankee talk about the Yankees? But look, about the Brewers, Tristan, I think one of the things that really defines a team's postseason chances and defines a team's success, how do you bounce back from those tough losses? Because look, even if you weren't supposed to win the game anyway, you're down 1-0 heading into the 9th, and you pull ahead 2-1, it's still never easy to lose those heartbreaking close ones. Even if you are on the road, even if you are down to begin with, even if you're down 6-0 and you come back 7-6 and then you lose 9-7, I'd argue that those losses are even tougher than the ones where you just lose 10-0. So look, to me, it's how you come back from those gut-wrenching, tough, heartbreaking losses. Because if you're one of those teams that can say, okay, tomorrow's a new day. And that's the great thing about baseball, Tristan. Tomorrow is always a new day. If you go for 5, you can go 5 for 5 tomorrow and you're still hitting 500. Well, here's the problem. Many teams will lose a 2-1, 3-2 game, and they will rattle off 6-7 losses in a row because they're like, damn, we should have had it. What did we do wrong? And they dwell on it. And that's the problem for a lot of teams, like our teams.
I don't want to dwell on the Yankees too much because I do think there's more interesting things to talk about around the league, and cannot believe I'm saying that. Imagine the Yankees not being the talk of the town. But I do want to go around the league. You're
far too big-headed.
But I do want to shout out one guy. Paul Goldschmidt just made his return to St. Louis since he's been traded there.
Kicked ass.
He looked really fucking good. And you know who else looked good? Benjamin Rice. Holy shit, a 7 RBI game, man. Got his 99 card in the show. Congratulations. Listen, if you're a young prospect and you're able to bat in the top 3 of the Yankee system, props to you, man. Props to you. Austin Wells is slumping hard right now. He's been able to play first, DH, and catcher for them. Ben Rice is a stud, man. Buy some Ben Rice stock, man. Buy some Ben Rice.
I do want to shift gears a little bit because, look, there's a lot going on around the league. We've covered the Brewers a little bit, but I do want to talk about a series on the West Coast, as I always want to.
That was one of the biggest series this week.
Yes, and I would argue that it was the biggest series this weekend. The Padres and the Dodgers. The Padres had taken the lead in the National League West by, I believe, 2 games at the peak after sweeping the baseball team up in San Francisco. That's not worthy of being called by the name right now. The Dodgers, I'm only kidding. They swept the Giants, go down to L.A., go back down to Southern California expecting to be competitive, at least with the Dodgers, and they end up getting swept. Tristan, take me through what happened in that series. Why did the Padres get swept, in your opinion?
The Dodgers are better. The Dodgers are better. They have a better team, and that's the whole thing that the Dodgers have been doing all year, I feel like. Oh, man, the Dodgers are struggling. Oh, shoot, should we worry about bam, they run off a 3-game, 4-game win streak. Oh, never mind. They're the Dodgers. Make no mistake, people. The Dodgers have not been playing Dodger-esque ball, but I assure you, when this team needs to, they'll show the fuck up. That's the Dodgers. That's why they're still the favorite to win the whole damn thing. They're not the best team by a stretch right now. They're not. But they're clutch. They have a fuck you attitude. They know how to capitalize. They're clutch when it matters, Jack. You don't sweep a series to recapture the lead and not be called clutch. That's clutch. We're almost in our last month of baseball. Everybody's panicking. They're calm. And I don't know if it's the weed that they got down there in L.A., what the fuck they're smoking or something. But they get calm. They have a presence to them.
This is where I just can't agree with you.
We've been there before. They know how to handle their business. This Dodger team is going to be the same Dodger team that we've always seen, and they'll put up numbers in October. They will. They'll be
What are you
there.
talking about?
They'll
Until
be there.
last year, these guys were perennial chokers.
But they're not anymore. We're talking about the present, Jack. I'm not talking about 2 years ago. I'm talking about the Shohei Ohtani Dodgers.
Dave
We're those
Roberts is
clutch
still their
teams
manager.
right now.
Dave Roberts is still their manager.
He was their manager
wrong?
last year, and he couldn't outdumb Aaron Boone then.
He couldn't outdumb the fact that they had the greatest roster ever assembled.
And it's almost the exact same now. Yes, they're in a lull, but this team is going to be able to clutch up.
They will not
when
win the
it
World
needs
Series
to
right
be.
now. They will not win the World Series this
I'm
year.
not telling you that. I'm telling you that they're going to have a presence in October, and to count them out right now would be stupid, like some people are. Yes, they're few. They're very few teams, but there are the Padres fans that were going into this series like we're the big bad. This is our division now. You guys kind of suck. Guess what? You just got fucking 3-0'd.
I would argue, Tristan, though,
Yeah,
it wasn't
big
the
edge going into
Dodgers.
that series.
It was not the Dodgers looking great. I'd argue the Padres just looked like complete and unmitigated shit.
Okay, that's the exact same thing that happened in the World Series. What do you do to be a good team? You capitalize on the other team's mistakes. You're going to
The Dodgers did just enough to win.
You're going to sit here and criticize the Dodgers for just being good enough to capitalize on mistakes. Don't happen in the MLB.
I'm not criticizing them.
They
I'm saying the Padres aren't going to look like this every time these two teams meet. It's just not going to happen.
As a Yankees fan, hopefully fucking not, man. I can't stand the Dodgers as much as the next guy, but and I'll say it again, and I'm going to get criticized in the chat. RG, pipe down. Let me take off my Yankees hat for a minute. They're the fucking Dodgers. Pay them the respect that they deserve. They came in here,
I'm not going to do that.
The Yankees' ass last year and said, "Oh man, we just had to wait for the Yankees to make their mistakes and capitalize on it." They did the same thing against this Padres team, who has the best bullpen in baseball, one of the most dangerous teams in baseball right now. What did they do? They didn't embarrass them, but they 3-0'd them.
I'm going to disagree with you again, and I think it's because I'm back in Andy Holt Tower where we used to disagree a whole lot more than we do now. Because I play nice. I play nice for RG and Jason, but I'm done playing nice right now because this is ridiculous. The Dodgers, I don't have to respect the Dodgers at all because everyone on that team took the easy way out. Ohtani took the easy way out. Mike Trout's been there for 15 years. Ohtani takes the easy way out the second he can. Freddie Freeman, easy way out. Mookie Betts, easy way out. Blake Snell, easy way out. Tanner Scott. You can name these guys all day long. Every player on that Dodgers roster, except maybe one or two homegrown guys like Will Smith and Max Muncy, who I do respect as much as I dislike them. They've been there the whole time. They were drafted by the Dodgers, and they've been Dodgers for their life. But the rest of them, sellouts. Trinan, sellout. Snell, sellout.
Listen.
Kershaw, I respect. Kershaw's a great Dodger and a great player, but you got Glasnow, sellout. All these guys. Yamamoto signs with the Dodgers. They take the easy way out. They don't. It minimizes what winning actually means to me.
Here's how I will back up my claim about the Dodgers know how to show up when it matters most. This was a playoff type series, and I think anybody that's in Southern California would tell the exact same thing. These two teams hate each other. When it's not the Padres' turn to hate when it's not the Padres' time to hate the Dodgers, it's the Giants' turn. We could go back to that one series that ended on the check swing bullshit call. And I know you don't want that Vietnam flashback right now. But
Gabe Morales, man.
This Dodgers team got swept in Anaheim. The Angels came in with the power of friendship and dragged their nuts all over the Dodgers' faces.
That's why I'm saying this one series is not an indicator of the Padres not being ready.
What did they do? They turned around and beat the mighty high bad boy. Oh, this is our division now, running their mouth. Padres, bro. And they're starting to get healthy again. Their pitchers are coming back. We saw Clayton Kershaw. We saw Blake Snell. We saw Tyler Glasnow come back. Okay, I expect them to do something in October. And now I somewhat agree with you, but I want you to see my point. Is the Dodgers will always be there when it matters most. I can't guarantee them that they win, but they will give you a hell of a fight. People actually had the nerve to say, Padres fans had the nerve to say, oh man, look at this. We probably about to go take 2 out of 3 from y'all in your own stadium. You just got swept by the Angels, bro. We're chilling. Let's go fucking do this. And whoop, right on its head. Right on its head. I'm not saying the Dodgers are the big, bad, high and mighty Dodgers, but when they will get going, which they will eventually, you're all going to be eating your own words. Don't take the fact that the Dodgers are not having a Dodger type year, winning 120 games. Don't take that for granted. This Dodger team is going to be very present in October.
You have insane recency bias because
that's all that matters, Jack. We're talking about here and now about baseball, right? What the hell does it matter what they did? The Yankees beat the Brewers 20-9 in a game. Oh, so the Yankees must be better than the Brewers. No one fucking cares about that now. The Brewers are the best team in baseball. The Dodgers are still a force to be reckoned with. And anybody who's running their mouth is probably going to eat their words come October.
Listen very carefully, okay? The Dodgers, you have recency bias. The Dodgers had a great year last year. They won it all. Look at the Dodgers the last 20 years. Perennial NLDS, lose to the Pirates, lose to the freaking Padres, lose to the Phillies, lose to a friendship team every year until last year, and 2020 doesn't effing count, okay? I don't want to hear it.
All right. Well,
you have recency bias. You need to remember, Dave Roberts is an idiot, and he is still their manager.
We'll bookmark this, and come October,
please do.
When they get to the NLCS or maybe the World Series, I'd love to revisit this conversation.
Please. I can't wait.
Now,
I cannot wait. The Padres will beat the Dodgers in 5 games. I promise you right now.
You can't guarantee if you were to sit down.
I promise you.
You just promised me. I wish that we could put money on this.
In a 5-game series or a 7-game series, the Padres will win in 5 games. I promise you right now. I promise you. I can almost guarantee that.
In 5 in a 7-game? That series is going to go to 7.
No way. The Padres will kick the Dodgers' ass. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
RG, I believe you've got something from us. Is it time? Is it time to see the one and only Chloe? If not, we can keep going with this baseball talk. But if not, I've got something else for you, Jack. And it looks like we do have a little bit more time.
We've got a couple minutes.
We do have a little bit more time here. Speaking around the league, I told you guys, I don't remember when it was, that this guy, I think it was last episode, that this guy definitely deserves to be recognized as maybe the NL Cy Young if it weren't for Paul Skeens, and we had the whole Paul Skeens might make the whole win-loss talk disappear. Now he's on the IL with blood clots. Zach Wheeler placed on the
terrible to hear that
IL in the middle of this playoff race for the Phillies, with the Mets doing what they're doing. As Chloe jumps in, hello, Chloe.
Hello.
But I do want to finish up our ball talk really quick, Jack, and ask you, what the hell do the Phillies pivot and do?
Well, look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Phillies, this is a problem for them. And prayers up, obviously, for Zach Wheeler. It's a terrible situation. It's ended a lot of athletes' careers. Just look at Chris Bosh. But blood clots is not a 15-day injury, and he's going to end up being out a lot longer than that. They may end up transferring him to the 60-day IL to clear up a 40-man roster spot. But look, there's not a lot of pitching depth in the Phillies or minor league system. Trade deadline's passed. Do you pick up a free agent? Do you go bullpen game every week? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, Tristan, but I think bullpen game honestly might be the way to go because you don't want to rush the prospects you do have like Mick Abel.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a scary time for the Phillies in terms of pitching department, especially with the injuries that have come with the Mets. But let's take a pause on the ball talk because we have greatness in our ranks right now. Chloe Cross is here. You may know her from Chloe and Co. She is a staple.
Unfiltered.
Chloe
and Co. Unfiltered. Get it right.
She is a staple of Makash Films, and we'd be damned to not give her a little bit of a shout out here. Chloe, how are you? Thank you for coming into the hitting cage.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How have y'all been?
Doing great. How have you been?
Pretty good. Nothing too crazy.
How's the show?
Going pretty well. We're planning on filming another episode soon, so hopefully this week or next week we'll have another one out.
So there's a reason you're here. You have an announcement for maybe a dynamic change with Chloe and Co.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about your show. What is it? What's it about? People that maybe have never seen it. This is they're tuning into the hitting cage, and now they're going to get a little bit of a taste of Chloe and Co. So what can they look forward to?
And it will no longer be unfiltered. We want to hear what the new name's going to be too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, the original Chloe and Co. Unfiltered, it was just like a pretty casual podcast. We talked about, I would have guests every week and we talk about like politics, social issues, like pop culture, that kind of thing, really whatever. And it was, again, unfiltered, very open and honest. And so now trying to switch that over into more of like a casual, like street beat kind of thing. So like man on the street kind of interviews, especially being around UT and stuff with the college kids. And so it would be Chloe and Co, like street beats. And yeah, it'll be a lot more casual and things like that, which will be nice.
Yeah. I used to be huge into that street beat crap until I came across an idiot in a Giants hat that ridiculed everything that I might have recorded. And I'm talking about the idiot in question.
Look, it's all very exciting, Chloe, but I'm very sorry that Jason and RG have made you feel obliged to deal with this guy. Because look, I only do it every week because Jason and RG tell me to, and I don't know how they coaxed you into dealing with them too. So I apologize in advance.
So what are some things that you're looking out for? So you mentioned like pop culture, just recent news. What's something like you're going to ask the next person you see on the street? What would be one question you have for like me and Jack?
I don't know. That's a good one. Obviously there's a lot going on politically right now. So definitely start off with that kind of stuff, especially on a college campus. I feel like that would be a good topic. Just kind of ask, how the new administration is doing, thoughts, things like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, pretty much any like big social issues or like trending topics on social media, things like that, trying to get more into those kinds of things.
Now, are you going to be specific to Knoxville or Tennessee or in general? Or are you going to be traveling over the country to get viewpoints from people in Washington and North Dakota and stuff like that?
It'll probably be focused more locally unless I just happen to be traveling and, I'm out and about.
You know what? I'm gonna help out you. Jason, RG, get this girl the funding she needs. We need this girl in Seattle. We need this girl in Washington. We need her all over the globe so that we can keep up with everything that's going on in Chloe's life, along with everything else. Now, what is probably one thing about you? We're gonna make this about you. This is pretty much the new Chloe and Co. What do you think is one thing about you that our listeners or every other listeners needs to know about you, and what makes your show so special?
As far as what makes the show special, I don't know. One big thing I want to do and why I have new guests every week is because I'm trying to give a voice to more people, maybe that aren't as like outgoing or normally the type to go out and do those kinds of things and speak out. Especially like different backgrounds, like different racial backgrounds, different like sexual identities, that kind of thing, I'm trying to give more people a chance to speak up on certain issues. And so I think that's something that can be really exciting on the show, to give people that open space.
That's a really good thing because I think me and him sit up here every day and ramble about stupid sports things and all kinds of crap, that goes on in baseball or other sports. But it's huge that there's somebody out there that's taking the time to think about all these important issues and even address them.
Talk about real life stuff and not a game.
Now, I believe RG keeps on saying that you have a question for me, Chloe. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, lay it on me. I have a feeling I know what it's going to be.
Yeah, so I was wanting to know about your favorite team, the Atlanta Braves.
No, he's a Red Sox fan. He's a Boston Red Sox fan,
it's
actually.
You people that give me headaches every day. And it's just, I wish we could go back to the way it was, Jack. RG loves giving me a headache between you and your thumbs up on the screen. And
the balloons. The balloons out of nowhere. RG, the balloons have to stop.
Headaches. He was in the chat earlier telling me to put my virtual hat back on. But no, Chloe, thank you for popping in here. Thank you for talking about it. Do you have anything else you want to get off your chest about Chloe and Co?
No, that's it. I'm excited for it. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, where can people find you?
On Instagram, it's Chloe Cross Journalist. And it should be the same on TikTok too. TikTok and Instagram, and then on YouTube and Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. If you just look up Chloe and Co, should pop up on there.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Chloe. We'll make sure that everybody tunes into the new edition of Chloe and Co. Guys, make sure that you guys are checking out everything. Makash, Chloe, and Co. Yeah.
And we are the Co this time. How special is that? The Co is us, Tristan.
Man,
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Chloe, for popping in.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
No, anytime.
Look, Tristan,
I think something that we have to keep saying is we have to keep getting people to come back into the cage. You know what I miss is our ratings of people that come in and talk with. We need to start getting more people. It was a privilege just to talk to Chloe for 5 minutes.
It was. And Tristan, let me tell you one thing about Chloe's podcast, and I've gotten the absolute honor to listen to it a couple of times now, is look, it talks about things that you're not going to hear about on the Hidden Cage podcast because we're goofballs. But on that podcast, there's some very serious issues that are talked about that need to be talked about, need to be listened to, need to be understood from different perspectives. And it's wonderful to hear her and her guests bring all different kinds of things to the table on that podcast. So please do give it a listen, Chloe & Co. Unfiltered, and soon to be Chloe & Co. Street Beat. Tristan, take us to our next segment.
As you knock over the mic and decide
As I
to
drop my
put a
mic and
blast in
lose
my
10
ear.
aura points.
Yes, yeah, and I actually want us to sit in that for a minute. Let everybody absorb that.
Oh, great! Yeah. Well, let me say one thing then. While we sit in this silence, look, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, that is loved by all, listened to by a few, and sponsored by absolutely nobody.
You know what? He just got his aura points, guys. He just got his aura points back. This is why he's a big leaguer. This is why he's a professional, everybody. Right there.
If you do enjoy this podcast and you happen to have some funding, please do consider sponsoring the Hidden Cage podcast and other Makash Films podcasts. If you want to reach out to Jason at makashfilms.com or reach out to our personal manager and also who works at Makash Films, the lovely Roy George, LLC88keys at gmail.com. Please do that. He's our manager. He's a great guy. Jason at makashfilms.com also has all sorts of information for you if you have a request or an inquiry about funding the Hidden Cage podcast. Yours truly, us two jokers over here, or any other Makash podcast. Please do reach out to those two.
We're on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's really hard to miss us. But yeah, recap of Chloe really quick. Me and you can goof around every Monday.
And we do.
And we have fun doing it. But I think it's really great that Makash has a brand that is so diverse, and you're able to get subject matters from all across this great nation. Whether it's something that needs fixing, or you get a feel good story of somebody just walking around on the street. So I really commend what Chloe is able to do. I remember when I first joined with Makash, I was doing like some street beat activity. It's not particularly, I wouldn't say it's not fun. It can be hard depending
because
on
sometimes people are wild cards. They can't be friendly sometimes.
It depends on some of the stuff you hear. Sometimes you got to deal with people's shit. And I understand people have bad days, but the fact that she came in here with a smile tells you all you need to know. That really is. And I feel like that, and I don't know Chloe, personally to the greatest extent of anybody, of some of her family members, but I know that Chloe probably approaches everything with a smile. And she's to be commended for that, because who always wants to go out and ask about hardships in today's country? So, and
also Tristan, look, especially it's very difficult to do man on the street kind of interviews when you have such a divisive and unstructured political climate like we do, especially with the issues that's going on right now. Asking one of the questions that she mentioned to us is, what do you feel about this current administration? That's a tough question to ask these days with such divided policy, with such divided opinions on immigration, civil rights and all that kind of stuff with this current administration. That's a tough question to go up and ask people. So I commend her for that. It takes bravery.
So I want to do, shifting gears back into sports, because sports is also a doozy. It's not as big as a head case, but it's still always a doozy. Switching back to the MLB. Speaking of doozies, did you see Victor Robles? I think it was Sunday night in a minor league rehab game. I think it was a minor league. Yeah, it was
I know where you're going with this.
Assignment for the Mariners. He was hit like 5 times during the series, I want to say. Got hit by a pitch and chucked the bat at the pitcher. Listen, I've always said, be fucking careful who you hit, because there are some guys that have hands, and there's also guys that have nothing to lose, even though they have millions of dollars that they'd be losing. They also act like they have nothing to lose and will bring the bat out there. Holy shit, man! What do you make of that? I don't know if you say like a ban for baseball, but like that deserves some kind of suspension.
Oh, it absolutely does. And I'll tell you why. I get the frustration for Victor Robles. He actually got injured making a hell of a catch against the Giants at Oracle Park. And that's a tough place to play as a right fielder with that huge triples alley. But he made a hell of a catch coming up against a foul wall, and he got very badly hurt. And look, it can be frustrating for a guy who just got off the IL, is now making a few rehab starts, and now he gets hit 5 times in a 3 or 4 game stretch. It gets frustrating. I get that. But taking your actions out on one of the guys who just so happened to hit you by accident, in all likelihood by accident, is never the correct response.
Yeah, I agree. Jack, as we wrap up on this beautiful Monday afternoon, I'm going to go around the MLB really quick. And if you want to get anything, last comments, remarks on any of the series that I mentioned or the games that I mentioned, go ahead and feel free to do so. We'll start with the Astros at the Tigers. The Tigers are up 3-0 on the Astros in the bottom of the 5th.
That'll hold.
That you think so? Spencer
Yes.
Aaron Getty going for the Astros right now, 4.1 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. You have the Cardinals back in action against the Marlins. The Marlins teeter every other week, I feel like. But anyway, the Marlins are up 2-1 with the bases loaded. And as I say that, the Tigers just made it 5-0 on a Riley Green homer. Look at that. So the Marlins are up 2-1 on the Cardinals with the bases loaded. Then you go stay in the North. We're going with the Pirates. The Blue Jays at the Pirates. That score is tied 2-2. In the bottom of the 4th, you have the Phillies and the Mariners. The Phillies up 6-0. Going to what's going on with the Mariners. In Boston, you have the Orioles visiting the Red Sox. They're up 1-0 on the Red Sox in the bottom of the 3rd. Then you have the Braves and the White Sox in Atlanta in the bottom of the 2nd with no score. The battle of mid, or the garbage can, whatever you want to call it, man. Fucking terrible. It's terrible.
I'm glad you think so.
The Rangers are at the Royals, and the Royals are up 1-0 at the end of 1. Previewing the rest of the games, you have the Dodgers at the Rockies, the Reds at the Angels, the Guardians at the Diamondbacks, the Giants at the Padres, and you were supposed to have the game 2 of Brewers Cubs tonight, but I don't believe we're going to get that tonight because I think it was just postponed. Game 2. They were supposed to play a doubleheader today, but that's not going to happen. Giants Padres, you excited, man? No, you're not.
Well, I'm not. I'm excited to listen to Dwayne Kuiper and Mike Krukow on the TV broadcast, but that's about it these days.
Fellas and fellas listening to or watching the Hitting Cage, thank you guys for watching. We couldn't do this without you. Again, we want to tease that we might have a live ep coming at some point so we can do a live diamond discussion with you all. We're teasing that. Let us know. Please DM us. I'm the real – what am I? I don't even know my own freaking @ man. What's my @? Is it the Tristan Thornhill?
Slittler is king.
Slittler is king on Twitter. The real Tristan Thornhill, I think, or is it the Tristan Thornhill on Instagram? And Jack, what's yours?
It's Jack.G1ENNON.
Please reach out to us and let us know if you're interested in that. Make sure you guys are, tuning into everything Makash Films. Hidden America, Chloe & Co. Chloe just got on here to talk about what she's doing. Very happy for her. Happiness sold separately. And, of course, yours truly, The Hitting Cage.
The Hitting Cage.
Do you have anyone else that you want to shout out? I know Grace is in here.
Yeah, that's
Grace
what I was going to shout out. You stole my thunder. Grace.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Grace is our new intern and producer and marketing consultant. Grace, thank you for leading us through this episode of the Hitting Cage podcast. We greatly appreciate it, and welcome to Makash.
Guys,
I do want to shout out RG. I do want to shout out RG because RG gets no love, but RG's fantastic.
You can never shout out RG enough.
Grace, you can never shout out RG enough.
Grace, welcome to the dysfunction that is the Hitting Cage and the beautiful company that is Makash Films. We are but a stain that is never going to be removed from the Hitting Cage, from Makash Films, and we love them for that.
Oh, they're stuck with us.
They're stuck with us.
They gave us a chance, and they didn't know what they were getting themselves into.
But we have a whisk, and we are mixing that bitch straight in. Anyway, guys, it's on the back of our shirts. Yay, Red Sox. RG, come on, man. It's on the back of our shirts. How could you forget? And I'm kicking it to you because it wouldn't be right if you didn't say it because you're at the bottom of Andy Holt Tower. But stay funky, stay fresh, and Jack, one more time from the bottom of Andy Holt Tower, tell them what they need to do.
And as always, we will see you in the next one.
Bye-bye!
Swing and a miss.
Aye, that's a good one.